What's happening, guys? Welcome to another episode. So in today's video, we're gonna be doing an install that's a little bit different. So I have only vehicles that have two doors. None of them exactly are practical. And I recently purchased a bicycle. I don't have a way of properly mounting it or even fitting it in any of my vehicles. And that is going to change because I purchased a trailer hitch for my Accord. And what I'm gonna be doing is I'm gonna be installing this and showing you guys how to get that done. So with this trailer hitch, I can put pretty much any kind of rack on the back. I can tow a small trailer and I can do a whole bunch of other things. I'm gonna show you how to get it done. So before we can get started, if you guys have an exhaust system that's in the way, you're gonna have to remove it. So I have an aftermarket MagnaFlow catback, and what I have to do with it is remove both mufflers or remove the entire axle back section of it. So with that out of the way, it will then expose the heat shields that are found above the mufflers, and once you take those out, it'll expose the frame rails of the body of the car, and that's what we're gonna be using to install this trailer hitch. The trailer hitch mounts up through one side of the frame rail. This middle section here mounts up to the bottom part of the tow hook, and on the other side, it mounts up to the other part of the frame rail. So what I'm gonna be doing is getting it so that I can install this on the car. There's a couple things that need to be done. It's not too crazy or too hard of an install. You're gonna need simple hand tools for the most part, and you're gonna need a way to grind out or enlarge in a hole on the car. Let me show you what you gotta do. So I picked up this trailer hitch here, and it is designed exactly for my Honda Accord. It is the entire trailer hitch, and all the hardware and the installation tools will come with it in the kit. So everything that you're gonna need is going to be found right here. So I have this little hook part for the middle. I have this bolt, this plate, this washer and nut for each side. You can see there's two of them, and I have these fancy tools here that are gonna allow me to pull some of these parts through the body of the car. So this little plate is a reinforcement plate that is supposed to go through this hole, and we have to slide it all the way to here. Now sliding it isn't the issue, but right now this piece is a little bit wider than this opening. So what we're gonna have to do is, using a drill and a carbide bit, or any other way that you want, you basically want to enlarge in this hole just enough so that you can fit the plate through here. So this carbide milling bit that you see here is a part of a set from a company called Astro. So these bits that you see here, I've used them for years to cut through aluminum, steel, and you can see that they're still really sharp even to this day. I'll link this stuff in the description box for you. Next up, we're gonna need the little plate, we're gonna need the main bolt, and we're gonna need this pull wire. So first things first, you're gonna thread the coiled end into this hole here, and we're gonna try and pull it out of the hole that we just drilled. Then with the pull wire through this hole, you're gonna slide the little plate over top of it, followed by the bolt. You're gonna wanna thread it onto the actual spring. So it's gonna fill in each one of the threads of the bolt, and you're gonna fully max it out. Bring the bolt down, slide the spacer up so that it fits into the cavity, like that. And then from this end, from the other end of the wire, you're gonna wanna pull it through. So if I keep pulling on this bolt, it will align itself over top with the bolt and the spacer over top of it. And if you pull down, you'll be able to lock it into the actual spacer and then twist it if need be until it's fully seated. So like that, you can see the bolt is installed. Now, for now, you want to keep this as is because we're going to feed the trailer hitch through this end here. So with the trailer hitch temporarily supported on jack stands, you're going to want to grab the feed wire and put it into each one of the bolt holes that are found on the sides. This is going to make installing those bolts a little bit easier after we bring this up and install these nuts and bolts first. So I'm gonna be using this hardware here. I'm gonna be taking the jack stands out, basically doing a bench press, pull this up, and I'm gonna thread each one of these spacers up into here. So I'm gonna face each one of these nuts so that the teeth are facing upwards and it bites into the trailer hitch. So you're gonna have two of them. Ensure that you have them facing upwards, not like this. You wanna spin them if they're facing down. So after you become a contortionist and you're able to balance this in the air, thread the washer and the nut over top of the U-bolt. Now they don't have to be super tight for now. We just want to first fasten it into place. And like that, you can see that it's pretty much in place. So we have the washers and the nuts on both sides here to install next. So on the one side, you want to balance this, kind of guide it in place. And then with the bolt in this position, you want to take off the pull wire. Again, with the washer, with the teeth facing up. You want them to bite into the trailer hitch. And just hand tighten it for now. You're then going to repeat the same thing for the other side. Then from underneath the car, torque up these two center bolts at the back side of the trailer hitch to 30 foot-pounds. And then lastly, tighten up these two bolts, one on the passenger side and the driver's side, up to 50 foot-pounds. This next part is entirely optional, but I would 100% recommend it. So because trailer hitches are made out of steel, they're going to rust, especially considering they're on the bottom side of the car. So if you ever drive your car during a winter and you keep it on the car, which most people do, it's going to look like crap in a matter of a year or two. So that snow and salt is going to deteriorate the paint and make the finish look really bad. So I'm going to be spraying this product here. It's called fluid film. It's relatively inexpensive. I use this for the entire underside of my car. I'm also going to be using a little bit of this on the trailer hitch and on the inside of it. Now to get on the inside of the trailer hitch, I'm going to be using this little special attachment here. It goes on the regular can, just like this fluid film. Take the tip off, and on the end of it, there's 4 little holes, and it allows the product to come out in like a fan pattern, and it sprays out the product out everywhere. So I'm going to be putting this inside the holes, inside the tubes of the trailer hitch, and it's going to get everything nice and lubricated. That way it won't rust. So on this side piece here, you can see that there's a little hole for air and water, whatever, to get in and out of. I'm going to be spraying the fluid film into there. So you put the tip inside of here as much as you can until it basically goes all the way through. Spray it as you pull out, and the entire inside is going to be nice and protected. The same thing goes for the area that we grinded down. You don't want to have exposed metal. Last but not least, the heat shield and the exhaust system need to be reinstalled on the car to complete the install. However, with this trailer hitch now installed, we can install any kind of attachment that is the same size. So this here is a bike rack, and you can see that the inside diameter of this is the same as this, which means that I'll be able to install my bike onto this rack, and this rack can go on the car. So thanks to editing, I can not install all these pieces and waste your guys' time. Instead, I can snap my fingers and boom, we're done. And just like that, the bike is installed, rack is installed, and the car is ready to go. So I gotta say, it looks pretty good. It works out pretty nicely. Now, the sweet thing about this rack is that I can put one bike on the inside, another one on the outside. I can have adjustable heights for whatever size frame. And the nice thing about this too is that if you ever need to load this, it makes loading and unloading super easy because you can tilt the entire thing forwards or backwards. You can get access to anything in the trunk. And yeah, I'd say it's pretty good. I need to install the heat shields. I need to install the exhaust system back on. But as you guys can tell, it mounts up nicely. This holds the bike. It's pretty sturdy. Yeah, there you guys have it. So even though I can install a bike rack for my bike on my car and it works great, there's still countless other things that you can do with a trailer hitch on your car. So this is a 1 1/4 inch receiver on this hitch. This can tow a 2,000-pound trailer, and it can also carry 200 pounds of tongue weight on it. So basically what we have right here. So I've been getting kind of good at this. If you guys want to take the rack on and off your car rather quickly, you can. All you're gonna need is a impact or hand tools with a 19mm socket. You're gonna need to pull this bottom pin, and then on the opposite side, you're just gonna zap this one bolt right here out. And then once you do that, the whole thing can slide out, and you're basically good to go. There's so many different things that you guys can do now with a trailer hitch. So I've got my bike hooked up to it. I can put a trailer on it. I can probably tow a car. That might be a little bit much for this Class 1 trailer. But if you guys want something small, if you guys want to tow a bike or something like that, this is perfect for you guys. If you guys have any further questions regarding the video or the install, you guys can find more information in the description box. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.